I have the pleasure of introducing our last speaker of the day. He is fired up. Get ready. These are going to catch fire right here in the front. But he really needs no introduction. Mr. Gene Frederick.
Shut the blinds, shut the blinds. Come on forward. Come on. Let's go. Shut the blinds, shut the blinds. You guys in the back, come on forward. Come on forward. I know what's going on. Bring your chair if you want to sit down, but stand up if you want to. This is quite honestly, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be unbelievable. Woo! I got news for you. Thank you, Rosie. You're awesome. I'm going to start off. Come on, really, everybody come forward. Because this isn't good. It's a nice big room, but I got news for you. Have you ever been in a room like this ever in your life? This is awesome, right? So I'm going to talk to you about dreams. I'm going to talk to you about goals. I'm going to give you actually how to do it. Is that okay? Are you guys all right? Shut the cell phones off, right? Not unless you're taking notes, right? So we got everybody close? Get in close, baby. I got this for you. I got 3 books to give away. Now, this is real. I want you to, now, if you know the answer to this, you can't be in the deal. But most people have not heard this. I just read this. 2018, there was a study by Hopkins. In America, this was a USA study. Now be honest with me. What are the 10 most productive, work-wise, of your life a decade? 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 60 to 70, 70 to 80. I love it when daughter's here. 80 to 90, 90 to 100. Now, they actually know the answer. I want you to think of for one decade that's going to be your most productive in your life. Okay, wait. Don't say anything. High D's want to answer. Whew. Boy, have I been dealing with high D's all my life. You know. Now, everybody stand up. Everybody stand up, because you have to be honest with me. If you thought 20 to 30, sit down. If you thought 30 to 40, sit down. Thank you for being honest. Who thought 50 to 60, sit down? Who thought 70 to 80, sit down? Who thought 60 to 70, stay standing? Who thought 60 to 70 was the most productive year? I know some of you guys are lying. Sit down. Because I've done this. I've counted. There's 70 of you. There's 70 of you. I counted every single one of you. How many people got it right? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people out of 70 know when you're going to be the most productive. When you're 60 to 70 years old. Now, I only have 3 books. So the 4th one's going to have to fight over it. You could share. Pete, you bring one. Who was over here? Oh, you're beautiful. Thank you, Marlena. Pick one. Give the other 2 over here. I think there was a gentleman back here. Who was it? What's your name? Mark. I have a brother named Mark. I'll never forget Mark. I have 4 brothers, and I always run into one of them. Mark, Chris, John, Rick. It's kind of easy, right? But how many Eugenes do you know? You know, Eugene is the best. So anyway, it's like Eugene is the first one killed in every horror movie. Where's Eugene? Oh, he went down to the basement. Eugene went down. You'd watch it, you know, right? He's the first guy killed in every horror movie. Now, second most productive 10 years of your life, 70 to 80. Now let's discuss why. By the way, average age of somebody that wins the Nobel Peace Prize, 62. Average age of a U.S. president, scratch Biden, 63. Thank you for laughing. Thank you, guys. You know, we had to scratch that one off. Okay, let's think about it. Why? Wisdom. Thank you, Jackie Onassis, as I call her, Jackie O. She was named after Jackie O. Your kids have grown up so you don't have any tension, right? Right, Ron? Okay. You don't have time. Urgency. You're going to die. Urgency. You're going quick. Better be productive. That was a good one. Here's it's your time. Here's one thing, guys. I'm 66 years old. I'll turn 67 in September. My wife's going to turn 69 next month. We're in the most productive years of our lives. I have more experience. Dawn and I have more experience after we did those offices than you ever imagined. You have more experiences after you did Reading than you ever imagined. The problem also, you need time to really create, to be really good at something. And you're going to think, I'm going to become a recruiter tomorrow. It probably won't happen. But if you give it time, the most productive years of your life are going to be between 60 and 70. I'm in my prime. Oh, God, I can't believe it. I just went back there and I said, damn, he's good looking. Okay, so anyway, here's what's going to happen. Now I want you, think about that. Think about, you thought 30 to 40. You thought, oh, those are the most productive years of my life. They aren't, because you're going to gain so much experience through your life. You're going to actually get more grace through your life. You are going to, whether you like it or not, become closer to God. Just so you know. I can guarantee you that. Right? Whatever you believe in, you're going to believe in something by the time you're 60 to 70. If you don't believe in anything, you actually believe in something. Nothing. Right? My grandpa said, I don't know. I hate to be an atheist because God, how does he think he built this? Right? I think somebody else built this. Right? Okay. Now, we're going to have fun. This is why I want you guys to post to me. Be honest with me. Who sucks at juggling? Who has never juggled? I got one. Seriously, you can't juggle at all? 2. 1 over here. Come on, Kim. Come on up here. Well, come on up here. Yeah. Yeah. Who sucks? Come on up here. Come here. These people are just juggling impaired. Juggling impaired. And watch this. Juggling impaired. Take one ball. Take one ball. Now, you're telling the truth. You can't juggle. Okay, right. 3 minutes. I'm going to teach these people how to juggle. Watch this. Now, honest, even throw one up and see if you can catch it. Oh, that's not, oh, well, we got a winner. We got a winner. Now, here's what I want you guys to do. Look at me. Don't look at them. Just pretend like it's you and me in juggling arena. Okay. We currently have one ball. Could you hold this for me? Jose, come on up here. Okay, hold this so I can do it. I want you to take it in your left hand. Take it in your left. This is your left. Okay. And I want you to hand it off to your right. Okay, put it back in your left. Hand it off to your right. Put it in your left. Hand it off to the right. Now do that 3 or 4 times without me telling you what to do. Good job. Give them a round of applause. Now watch this. I'm going to take another ball. Now what I want you to do, now watch me guys, don't look at anybody else. I'm going to throw this ball up. First of all, can you drop your left one? Drop your left one. Take this in your right hand, and I want you to throw it up and catch it with your left. Now, Kimbo, look at me. Kimbo, look at me. Concentrate. Don't do anything I don't tell you to do. I want you to take it from your right and throw it up in the air, not at your left hand. I want you to throw it up in the air and catch it. There you go. Kim is really bad. But here's the thing. Okay. One at a time. Get in your right hand. This is your right hand. Just throw it up and catch it with your left. There you go. Put one down. Throw it up. Throw it up, Kim. Oh, baby. Oh, my God. Kimbo, you were going to be a challenge. So anyway. So right hand, Dougie. Toss it up, catch it with your left. Put it back in your right. Throw it up, catch it with your left. Again, right hand. Throw it up, catch it with your left. Put it back in your right. Throw it up, catch it with your left. Give him a round of applause. Pick up your other ball. Okay, now watch me, don't do anything. Concentrate on Eugenio. I'm going to throw this up first with my right hand, and as I throw it up, I'm just going to hand off the one to the right. Watch this. And catch this one. So I have to throw this one up and catch this one, right? You throw it up as high as you want, but I throw it up, and you already did the toss it off. So throw up, toss it. Throw up. Kim is a type A. Oh, I'm calling that a victory. Okay, you ready? On your mark, get set, go, do it. Give them a round of applause. Run around like champions. Run around like champions. Come on. Woo! Wow. Wow, Dougie. I tell you what, Kim, seriously, let's talk about it. Have you ever juggled in your life?
No.
Did you ever think you could?
No.
What was your thoughts, Doug, when you came up?
It was going to be fun. I was give it a good try.
Give it a
Let's
good
go.
try.
Yeah.
But were you scared?
No.
No, you weren't. I like Kim.
Yes.
Yes, you were scared.
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, in 3 minutes, I taught them something they've never done in their life. Think of that. Okay? The reason you all don't recruit, you guys call it attraction. I call it recruiting. Just so you know, I'm attractive. That's attraction. But recruiting, since you've never done it, think about that. Since you've never tried it, you instantly think you can't do it. Right? How many people, raise your hand if you really, come on, be honest with me. You've never done it before. Raise your hand. Aren't there doubts? Okay. Just so you know, every book you've read in the past, I've destroyed it. Doesn't take 21 days to become a recruiter. Doesn't take 66 days to become a recruiter. It takes frickin' 3 minutes. Let's give them a round of applause. Woo! I've literally shattered every book I've ever read. It takes 21 days to create a habit. Bull duty. It's not right. It's false. It is false. If somebody teaches you how to do it, and you follow their instructions, thank you, Kim, it's 3 minutes. I just need 3 minutes of your time today, and I can change your world. The problem is you all think it's going to take forever. Wrong. It's wrong. I'm just telling you guys, be with me. Be with me for the next half an hour, and I will change your life. And you can do it today. You could go home tonight, Jose, and start recruiting people in Puerto Rico, baby. Come on, baby. He's moving to Puerto Rico with me. So in other words, what I'm telling you is don't listen. Here's the other thing I want you to write down. After you've attended this today, don't go home and tell others, because they will poo-poo it. Don't believe others in your life. What they tell you can be done and can't be done. Stop it. Stop it. Stop listening to the naysayers. Stop it. I'm telling you, don't. Because I guarantee you, you're going to come home and your spousal unit's going, what happened at that thing up in Tahoe? And you're going to go, man, I can recruit. I can start recruiting today. And your spousal unit's going to go what? What? Why don't you sell a home tomorrow, darling? Is that not true? Nod yes. Come on. So that's the problem in life. You have the wrong people. You don't have the wrong people around you. Keep your spouse. I'm not saying get rid of it. They just weren't here. They just weren't here. They didn't get to experience the juggling that I taught in 3 minutes. What I'm going to teach you today, you can learn today. You don't have to spend 21 days practicing it. You can do it tomorrow. Tomorrow won't be as good as the second day. The second day will be better than the third day. And the fourth day will be better than the third day. But who gives a crap? You're going to get better. And then by the time you get my age, you're going to be really good. Seriously. The problem is we think in America, well, I think it's because of the instant Google thing. What's that Google thing? Right? I was the last person on earth to Google. My daughter calls me, have you Googled yet? I said, no, what's that? Oh, come on, Google, Dad. I said, what's Google? You think instant satisfaction. Right, instant gratification. Thank you for correcting me. Is my wife here? Because if you know my wife, she corrects me all the time. She's like, you said the wrong thing. Okay. How many people believe I'm right? Raise your hand. Come on. Give me some. This is real. This is real. Don't believe all the other books. Come on. Cut it out. I've read them. It's not right. You want to be a Christian? You can be a Christian today. You don't have to wait 21 days. You do. Now, it might take us a while to convince you, but quite honestly, one day you're going to wake up and go, I want to meet my mom again. I want to meet my dad again, right? I'm sorry. My son and I had a good discussion on the way to the airport. And I've got one daughter that doesn't believe in Christ. And he goes, I said, that's my only thing I want to do the rest of my life is get her to come to the Lord. Just so you know. I mean, that's one of my missions. You know, we were talking about it because he and I we both have faith, and we both have faith in something. I'm not here because of, Tom Davies called. I think somebody tapped him on the shoulder. Right? I think somebody tapped him on the shoulder and said, get that good-looking dude out there. God. There was an older couple. Margaret and John, older than me. I say elderly, much older than me. They were sitting out on a patio like this on a beautiful Saturday morning, having their cup of coffee, just enjoying their lives, thinking, what a great life we've had. And Margaret says, John, got a question for you. John's just sipping his coffee going, Margaret, what is it? I'm just curious. When I pass away, will you remarry? And evidently, Mark wants to answer. But John says, come on, honey. Honey, this is a perfect morning. The birds are chirping. It's the perfect temperature. I don't even want to think about that. We're not even close to getting to that age. Honey, don't even bring that up. She goes, oh, come on. I just want to know. And he goes, please, let's stop it. That night at dinner, Margaret says, John, just got a question for you. When I pass, if I pass before you, will you remarry? Honey, not again. Really, please. We're not even close to it. Come on, I don't even want to talk about it. The next morning, they're having coffee. Margaret says, please, I just want to know. Will you remarry if I pass? He goes, okay. I'm Mark's brother, John, because you answered for me. Okay, I might. I might marry if you pass. She goes, well, are you going to stay in the same house? Oh, boy. Is she going to sleep in my bed? He goes, oh, gosh. He goes, honey, come on, Margaret, what are we doing this for? She goes, well, is she going to use my golf clubs? And he goes, no, she's left-handed. The women love that one. Is that not awesome? No way, baby. Ow! Arr, arr, arr. Oh. No, she's left-handed. Okay. I'm going to start off with this. Again, I got to do stuff on the board. I want you guys to know where we are in real estate, and then I'm going to give you the basics. Okay? Let me see. I didn't follow that real well. Okay. Now, that looks too much like a pair of boobies. Okay. That was not good. No. Cut that out, Mama Bear. God, I'm so bad. Okay. This is Real Estate 101. I've been in the business since 1984. Anybody longer than me? Tom Daves? He's not. 77? 7784. So here's what happens in real estate. We need to talk about it now. This is basically GCI, which is what? Your commissions. So as commissions go up in real estate, they hit a peak. And what do you think the peak in commissions was right now? 2021. Right? 2021. Was it better than 2022? Where are we? 2021? It was better than 2020, was it not? Okay. So this is 2021. It kind of goes up, gradually goes up. Now this is what we call agent count. Agents getting in the business. I've been tracking this forever. So when they see that there's money to be made in real estate, what do your buddies say? They can't sell real estate, but they're a plumber. I guess I'll go sell real estate. You're making so much money, dude. I mean, if you can do it, I had buddies of mine say, if Gene can do it, my God, I can do it. And they go. They get in the business, and then it peaks out. And then what happens right here is the best time to be in real estate. There's not as many agents as there is money to be made. Okay? Good time to be in the business. Quite honestly, that's probably been the last couple years. Then what happens is real estate starts to go down, GCI, but realtors don't get the memo. They really don't. They don't get the memo yet. And then they go, and we peaked out at what? 1.6 million at NAR. And then all of a sudden, they go, well, there's not enough homes to sell. GCI is lower than we have agents. I better get out. I've been through, this will be my fourth, I don't mind saying, downturn. We've peaked with agents. I know it. I've been there before. In 1984, I got in the business. In 1985, we peaked in Texas at 90,000 agents. In 4 years, we had 45,000. Yeah. And I got in at exactly the worst time, according to most agents. They were fleeing. They were leaving. And I said, man, I just left my accounting job. I'm not going back. If you got buyers, send them to me. By the way, during this time, you'll get a lot of business from the people that are getting out of the business. Tell them you want to stay in. I literally got business from people that were fleeing. And I did not sell a home with furniture in it for 3 years. I sold 120 homes a year, 3 years in a row in the late 80s, and I didn't sell a home with furniture in it. But agents didn't like to work like that. They wanted to show a home with furniture in it. I didn't care because I didn't want to go back to be an accountant. There was a drive in me not to go back, okay? So what's going to happen to you is you guys are going to have a lot of drive as we're going down before we hit our next point where there's more GCI than agents. I already know there's going to be a shift in agent count. Does that help you guys? Any questions on that? Seriously. Does that help? Because I know where we are. And if you're going to fool yourself, who told me earlier that somebody said they don't think the prices are going to go down in real estate in my area? Who was I eating lunch with today? And they said, they started laughing. They go, we know it's going to happen, right? We know it's going to happen because I lived it, right? I lived it in through the 80s. I sold homes and had to come back later and say, sorry, they're 20% less. Then I went to Virginia in the 06, 07, 08, 09. They had $800,000 homes, did not sell till they were 350. The realtors there said we lost 20 years of appreciation. Now, I know you guys are in California and you think you're just insulated. Seriously, because I just don't think in other California. Boy, that doesn't happen here. Okay, when it does, just wait. Just wait. Because you need to be the adult in the room, and you need to tell your sellers, here's a script I've used forever in downturns. You go on the listing, and what do you say? Don, did you ever use this one? I used it forever. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I want to be, you in life, you want to be the firstborn, the second spouse, and the third realtor. And they start laughing. I said, the firstborn gets all the attention. Second spouse, we won't go there. The third realtor, here's why I want to be the third realtor. You're not going to believe the first one when he tells you it's not worth 1.2. So you listed at 1.2. 90 days later, you get the second realtor. You don't believe them. 90 days later, so it's going to be about 6 months. And then you're going to call me. Guess what? Why don't we just wipe out number 1 and number 2? And let's get real. Because this is happening. And I want you to be the first home in the neighborhood to sell, not the last. Got the script? I only used it for a long time. Tony Kawaguchi in Hawaii is using it right now in Honolulu. He says, we want to be the first one to sell when the neighborhoods, you don't want to be the last one. You don't want to be holding out going, yep, it's worth 1.2, it's 1.2. Then all of a sudden it sells for 900 because you didn't want to sell it for 1.1. Got it, guys? Good scripts. Am I not good? I'm on fire today. I'm on fire, Hadley. I'm on fire. Okay. Okay. There you go, Donna. Okay. Yeah, go it up. Here's what I want you guys to do today. Is really believe you can do it. You can change a habit in one day. You don't want to eat sweets, tomorrow you don't have to eat them. You don't want to smoke, you don't have, I know it's hard smoking. Quite honestly, I've never been a smoker, but that would be a toughie for most people. But if you want to do something, let's face it, you want to start doing 25 push-ups tomorrow, you can do it, correct? Everybody can, come on. I just do push-ups on counters. Nobody said I had to lay on the ground. You do push-ups like you want to, Jose, I'll do push-ups like I want to. Okay. Yeah, I don't care about that Darren Jacklin dude. Okay. I'm going to give you the 5 things you have to do to be really productive in this job, which I call recruiting. I've been doing it since 1989. I'm going to give you a little credibility. I started a company in 1989. 5 years later, I had 200 agents and 3 offices. I had no idea how good that was until I got out of it and I sold it. Then I went to Keller Williams as an agent, started selling in 1999. I was a team leader, and within a few years, Don and I were starting to open offices, and I was the #1 recruiter at Keller Williams for 6 out of my last 9 years. 4 times as a team leader, twice as a regional director. The only reason I tell you that is I used to teach recruiting at Keller Williams, and I'm going to teach you the same stuff I taught them. This is really, guys, this is a skill. You guys know how to work with buyers. You know how to work with sellers. Go on to listing. Now you're going to learn how to do what? Recruit agents. It's a different skill set. Sorry. You probably think it's just like buyers and sellers. Nope. Because I'm telling you, recruiting independent contractors, if you can do this, Hadley, you will be the best salesperson on earth because they don't want to move sometimes. They don't want to talk to you sometimes. Like you said, you make 25 calls a day and maybe 2 will answer the phone. I mean, this is not like buyers and sellers. I'm just telling you, this is so different, but I've been doing it since 1989 and I'm really good. So I'm going to share with you what you should do. Is that all right with you guys? Can you write these 5 things down? This is all you need to know. Could you write it down for me? Somebody's got to write because I'm terrible. I am terrible. Who's a good writer? Who's a good writer? No, I don't want a guy to write it. Who can write it? Come on. Number one. Make a list. You guys have heard this 2 million times, but the one with the biggest list wins the game. Now, when you have the list, I want you to carry it with you for 365 days. When I see you in build, I want it with you. Ron, I want to see it. You're going to have to bring in your pocket. You're going to show me your notebook, and you go, here's my list. You go, wait, it's back in my room. No, it's with you. It's with you. This is your life. I had people on my list for 3 or 4 years. Tom Davies, 3.5 years. Don Yoakum, 3.5 years. They're on my list. But they didn't come when I first got them. But guess what? They're on my list. I look at them every day. It is immensely important for you to do it in your own handwriting. I'm just telling you the things that will make you successful. Do it in your own handwriting. I know some of you guys like your phones and you want to make up, you young bucks. Yeah, I'll just do it on my phone. It's not the same. It's not the same. Okay? Number 2, set up an appointment. Here's my key. If you really want to do this, I had interviews 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Write it down. 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Everybody goes, what do you mean? Well, I worked 5 days a week. I did not work the weekends. By rule, I had an appointment at 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Sometimes on the way home, I'd go see a movie. I'm a big movie buff. Go see the Elvis movie. Oh, yeah. I mean, Elvis is like, oh, my God, if he doesn't win the Academy Award, nobody deserves a dang thing. How many have seen Elvis? Oh, come on, only a few of us? Oh, my God, I've seen it 3 times, baby. It's unbelievable. So anyway, you need to set up appointments. Now, everybody goes, what's that look like? I'm a one-on-one person. You can do Zooms one-on-one, right? People are used to Zooms now. So guys can do Zooms. You don't have to. If you're going to do them in the same coffee shop in the same town. I was Norm from Cheers. I went to a coffee shop. I can show you pictures. I should have them up there. Where that was the table I sat for 3 years in Austin, Texas. 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Okay? Number 3. Oh, by the way, when I say set up appointment, it's either one-on-one and with number 2 underneath, lunch and learns. Because a lot of people, guys, lunch and learns work. Now, a lunch and learn, because of COVID, we kind of got out of the habit. But guys, COVID's over. Start doing lunch and learns in your area. Now, if you want to expand nationally and internationally, do lunch and learns on Zoom. But do them the same day, every week, same time. Everybody knows when it is, okay? So it can be Zoom or in person. Number 3, set up a following meeting and a 3-way call. This is so key. After you meet with somebody, you can't assume. They will leave you. They will lie to you. They will say, oh, my God, what are you, 1 out of 10? Oh, I'm a 9. Oh, man, I'm coming. All I have to do is go home and talk to my spouse. What are you going to do? Set them an appointment with the spouse like 2 days later, right? You need to set up it's always, every meeting is due to another meeting. You never leave a meeting without another meeting. With realtors, I found very important to set it up for the next week. I usually didn't call realtors on Monday or Tuesday and say, can you meet this week? I said, what's available next week? Because that week, they're kind of in the flow. I always set up appointments for the next week. I double and triple booked. Why did I double and triple booked? Because they cancel. I'm just telling you, I double and triple booked all the time. If I came up on Monday and I went, ooh, crap, I got 2 o'clock, 2 of them on 10 o'clock Monday morning, I'd call Sunday night and I said, hey, could you move it to 1? And I just fill up my schedule. Okay, number 4, there's only 5 things to do. Don't you love it when it's very simple? Number 4, invite them to an event. Event, this is the name of the game, guys. I've done this with everybody I've ever recruited. You guys want to come to Dallas to the Build event? Here's the key. You got to invite them. By the way, even if they don't come, you invited them. Isn't that cool? Seriously, who cares if they come? They go, man, they invited me. They thought about me. So invite a lot of people. And number 5, I want you to have a system for the first 30 days when they come. I want you to make sure when you onboard them that guess what? they're going to be happy that first 30 days. Because the first 30 days are the most important when you bring somebody over. If for some reason they can't bring their listings over, what do they think? I might not be able to get paid if they can't bring my listings over, right? How many, guys, I've been recruiting agents forever. How many of you, I wish I could take a thing. How many called me like on Thursday or Friday and said, I'm ready to join? Raise your hand if you did that. Come on, be real. That happened to me all the time as a team leader. They'd call me on Friday, go, okay, I want to write an offer tomorrow. All the time. I'm ready to come. I said, cool, come on in. We sign them up in a day, right? You need to make sure you'll stay late on Friday night to do what? Get somebody on onboarding to fill it out. Fill out that app and get them on because they want to write an offer. Take pictures of that, memorize it. Now, I have a few, here's what I want to do. I want everybody to stand up and get closer. Any questions on the 5 things to do? You got to have questions. Because Don wanted me to make sure you left with a list of stuff. Come on in close, and I will do something for you. Oh, get in close. I like this. I don't care about the camera. Yep.
Let them know on that onboarding that the leaders in the room we have set up. So everyone, regarding onboarding, we've learned the leaders in the room, it's very, very important what Gene's saying. And so we have actually have onboarding specialists. So check with your, success partner, one of the 5 leaders here, what have you. We have that in place, okay? So we won't go into it now, but it's in place.
Okay, good. You guys got that? Okay. I've got a few things on napkins. Come on in. Come on, Cindy. Come on, Pete. Get your butts in here. Come on, get on close. Come on. Come on. Little napkins. Little napkins. These are quotes that you should just think about them. You don't have to write them down. You miss 100% of the shots you never take. Right? Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Right? Because a lot of you guys, the problem you won't recruit agents is that steps you outside of your comfort zone. Guys, I sold 120 homes a year, but I wasn't a recruiter. I mean, I didn't become a recruiter until I sold everything and bought my own office. You know, if somebody would have said, hey, well, I want you to be a recruiter, I'd say, dude, get out of here, man. I'm selling 120 homes a year. I'm feeding my family. You know, I know what you're going through. Because a lot of you go, it's going to get you out of the comfort zone to recruit rather than sell homes. It's the number one reason you don't recruit is you don't want to step out of your comfort zone. To achieve greatness, you must live on the edge. The only way to find the edge is to step over it every once in a while. Now, somebody can tell me who said this. I have no more books. I gave them all away. Here it is. Here's what I want you guys to, and somebody said it earlier. They used some of this quote, but it's real. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in a square hole, the ones who see things differently. They are not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them. Because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. What was that? Jobs? Steve Jobs did not write it. His marketing team did. The marketing team, I've got the guy's name, you can look it up, the guy that worked for the marketing company, they think Steve Jobs wrote it because it was for Apple. And that was the ad, and the voice was, what's his name from Jaws, the guy that played Jaws? The actor. I'm not good with actors' names. The guy that played, What? Sure you can. So here's what I want you guys to. We'll sign it. So here's what I want you to do. Come on in closer. Come on, Tommy. You can't see me. I don't know why they have bright lights on me. The only one that can see me is Alex back there. Alex can see everything. He's like 6'8". I want to end with this. Come on in close. For some reason, and I'm included in this. I really am. I was raised by a banker and a school teacher. I have 4 brothers and a sister. Raised just suburbs. Parents got divorced when I was 12. No big deal. I thought it was cool. One day we had furniture. One day we didn't. One day we had cars. One day we didn't. And I thought it was awesome. Because guess what we got to do? Play baseball in the living room. And mom had no control over 5 boys and a girl. So when people used to come over, my friends, I didn't realize they just thought we were crazy. We were the crazy ones. But when I go over to other people's house when I was 12 and 13 years old, the parents would go, "Hey, Gene, do you want some food?" And I'd go, "Yeah." I was so naive. More food? They probably thought we didn't have any, right? Because we're the divorced woman down the street with 6 kids with no furniture and no cars, right? Because literally back then, don't you know, I hid the refrigerator. Mom had me hide. I was with my brother. I said, "What are we doing?" He goes, "Hey, Mom said take the refrigerator and go to the neighbor. We got to hide the refrigerator." Why are we hiding the refrigerator? I said, I was just in 7th grade. You know, my brother's, he goes, let's hide the refrigerator. Oh, it's a game. Because when they took everything back then in the 60s, guess what happened? They took everything, right? We hid the washer and dryer and refrigerator. Now, saying that, I tell Susan these stories, and most of you women are going, "Oh, it must have been a hard upbringing. Bull duty. It was the best upbringing a guy could have. I played sports in the living room, and my mom loved me." You just need one parent to love you unconditionally, right? Dad was gone. Doesn't matter. Still love Dad, but didn't see him too often. He had to leave the state. He did. He was in banking, and he did not do it right. Still love my dad, and I'll tell you what, someday I'll meet him, and we'll figure out what happened there. You know, he just had a flaw in the way he did things, right? You guys have parents like that. Okay, now, since I grew up like that, I don't spend money. I can remember having 2 years of school with the same pair of pants, thank heaven I didn't grow, and the same pair of shoes. And to this day, I have 1 pair of dress shoes and 1 pair of sandals. It's just the way I'm used to it. It's hard to get out of I can afford 85 pairs of shoes, but I can't get out of the habits of how I grew up, right? My wife and I will give everything to you guys, and we won't buy stuff for us, right? That's just who we are, right? It's very hard. So I want you to break out of some old tapes that might be inside of you that keep you from being really successful. Okay? Because I have them too. And for some reason, somehow, you go, I can't make $1 million a year. In fact, you might have some guilt, right? If you grew up in the Catholic religion, seriously. Because you might have some guilt or if you're in a church that preached that you shouldn't make that much money, you might have guilt to make that much money. I want you to wipe it out. I want you to hang with the people you're standing next to right now, because they're going to understand what I'm going to say. You need to hang with the people that it's okay to give away $14 million in a year. Does this make sense? You need to hang with those folks. You need to hang. My wife and I have a foundation of $14 million in it, and we're so excited to give it away. We've already given it away. We just have to figure out who gets it. You know, we gave $100,000 last year to a crisis center, and the guy cried. I mean, the head of the crisis center just cried in front of me, a grown man. I'm going, man, we're helping the world, right? But don't hang out with the people that don't celebrate your success. because they are all around you. Quite honestly, walk away and then call your buddy. Call your buddy and say, hey man, somebody just gave me heck for making 100,000 last month in rev share. Right? It's really real. I want you to do that. So 2010, I'm a team leader. It's a true story. For what's that company we used to work for? Keller Williams. We all worked for. So it's 2010. I'm a team leader. It's a true story. And guys, this is really cool to see this outdoor patio area. In 2010, we're outside at a happy hour. That's what realtors do. And we were about 40 or 50 of us. There's a big party on the other end, and guess who was there? The number one company in Austin, Texas, Dell Computer. They had free drinks. We had to pay for ours. So where are our realtors? They went to the Dell one, got a drink, and came back to ours. It's a true story, right? You guys are realtors. I can be real with you guys. Well, the most famous person in Austin, Texas is not Gary Keller. It's Michael Dell. Michael Dell is worth last time I checked, 25 to 30 billion dollars. He's in the top 30 in the world in wealth. So Michael Dell was at their happy hour. Now, you guys got to visualize this. Visualize it in your own way, Ron. He's starting to walk through 40 to 50 type A realtors. God bless all of you, but you're a little grabby. So it's almost like Muhammad Ali was walking through the airport, or the most famous person you ever saw in your worth, and you guys were grabbing at him. I mean, believe me, Rebecca did not let him go. She was like, you guys were like, oh my God, Michael, oh my God, I used to work for you in 1992. I thank you so. Oh, my daughter works for you now, and this poor guy, it was like, his shirt was just the poor guy was like, it's like walking through this crowd. He was like, oh my God, is he going to get through? And he got through, and it was outside, and his limousine was there. It was a Maybach. Anybody know what a Maybach is? Is it not one of the most expensive limousines ever, Joel? We talked about it. He says it's probably the best. His driver opens the door. Michael Dell comes in, he shuts the door, and they drive off. And what do my top A realtors say? Oh, he doesn't even drive himself. Really? Really? What was that all about? I said, well, it was a Maybach. I've only seen them in magazines. Seriously, I'm a car guy. I said, it's about a $500,000 car. Maybe, I don't know how much it is, Joel. What would you say up now, $1 million? Probably about $1 million. Back then, this was 11 years ago. I said, I think it's a $600,000 car. And the driver, I don't know. He should have a driver, right? And they said, really? Really? And they were dogging his butt. Now, the reason I wanted you to come closer is I pulled him in just like this, Ron. And I was serious as can be. I said, let me ask you all a question. If that whole setup, the $1 million car and the driver, cost you a nickel a day, would you have it? What did they say? I said, that's a nickel to him. That costs him a nickel. $17 a year, a nickel a day. And I looked right at him and I said, let me tell you something. One day, I'm going to have my nickel. And when it's a nickel to my family, you don't begrudge me my nickel. And don't you begrudge anybody their nickel. You know what I mean? Because we have baggage that keeps us from celebrating nickels. All right? So about 1.5 years ago, I talked to Susan. I said, it's time. I had a yacht on my vision board for 5 years, 7 years actually. I've been going to the Miami and Fort Lauderdale yacht shows for 5 years. I'm a guy that grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. I like water. So do you have that first picture I sent you? So I got to celebrate. Dougie, let's give it up for the nickel! Okay, now They asked me, I'm sorry, Randy, but you asked me to be a little bit more formal. So could you hold this mic? Okay. Now I'm formal, Alma. I want you all to celebrate everybody's nickels. I want you to be the ones that come up to them and say, congratulations. That is awesome. I am so proud of you. Don't think, well, why don't I have it? Or what would you need to celebrate life so big. The problem is we don't. I don't, and I have it too, guys. I mean, I'm telling you. Even now, I still fight with the struggle. Susan and I fought. We didn't fight from couples. We fought with the concept of spending this much money on a boat, right? But guess what we're going to do with the boat, right? I've already decided. We're gonna Puerto Ricans are gonna we're gonna teach Puerto Ricans how to be engineers on the boat, captains on the boats. We're starting our own school on the boat, and we're gonna have fifth graders come on the boat so people can see what could they have in the future, what could they have, right? So it's not just for Gene and Susan. In fact, you're gonna probably find out we will probably be the last ones to use it sometimes, right? Because we want it so you guys. Someday you'll all be on the boat with us. Okay? Now let me tell you the other story. About 3 or 4 months later, we bought it. It's brand new. We built it from scratch. It's going to come. It's going to go on the water September 2nd in Poland. We're going to go over there and do the thing, and then it's scheduled to be delivered to Puerto Rico on November 15th on a big boat. They sail it over. So in December we will have our nickel. Now, here's what's cool. We didn't know what to name it. Right? But last summer, all of a sudden, Susan was going by a boat, and at the back of the boat, guess what it said? Naughty, N-A-U-T-I, Beaver. I don't know what that was about, but it was Naughty Beaver. And Susan looks at me and she goes, Naughty Nickel. Naughty Nickel. And I said, that's it. There it is. Susan designed this. Susan designed it, and then she was on a roll. I said, Susan, what are we going to name the Sea-Doo? She goes, that's easy, my 2 cents. And I said, well, what are you going to name? After that, I said, what are you going to name the 17-foot tender? She said, spare change. So what's really going to be fun is we finally got nobody will know what the nickel story is about you guys, but I've literally been telling the nickel story for 7 years since I've been at EXP, because I want everybody at EXP to really think bigger. You know, you guys, if you were at the thing last year, I told it last year at the convention, because for some reason in our lives, we don't allow ourselves to be unbelievably successful. The more money you get, the more money you can give. End of period. Get over the fact that you're all going to be millionaires. That's okay, right? Get over it. And that's really the key to you not succeeding. Seriously. Is somehow subconsciously you don't know why you're not doing it. Number one, it's because you don't want to get out of your comfort zone. You've always sold real estate. You do it really well. It comes easy to you, right? Number two, it's because you have baggage. There's something there. There's something there holding you back. If it's a spousal unit, get them in another bedroom. Throw them out for a little bit. Till you be on board with me, right? Believe me, for us to pay this much for a boat, Susan had to be on board, right? We both had to be on board, because otherwise it would not have been good for the marriage, right? So what I want you guys to do is take home with you the fact that you all can do it. Remember, you can juggle in one day. And I want you to become professional recruiters and be proud of it. All right? Go back and engage, baby. Let's have fun! Woo! The Naughty Nickel, baby. Oh, Rebecca.